It's Qyjon the Icon here, and I am inside the Joliet Area Historical Museum. I am here because it's the last day of the Black History Art Exhibit. This art exhibit was brought to you by Seven Mountains. Tycee Bell, the director, reached out to me and she asked me to curate an art show for her. She wanted me to find 12 independent black artists and put them inside of the Joliet Area Historical Museum for the public to see. And that's what I did. Now I know you watching this video, maybe you came, maybe you didn't. That being said, for those who missed it, I'm gonna go through every single artist and every single art piece and give you my thoughts on it and showcase it for you. So that being said, we're gonna start with the first artist in the program, An Evening with the Artists. This is Shannon Triplett, and this is her art piece up there. Now I love this art piece. I love the energy in it. I love the coloration in it. I love its youthful spirit. It also depicts two women kissing, which is not seen as much in art as heterosexual relationships. So it's wonderful that we were able to see and have an artist who had some LGBTQ representation. So that was nice to see. The next artist that I'm going to show you is Candace Randall. Now, Candace Randall, she was one of the first artists to respond. She was so motivated to be a part of this art show at the Joliet Area Historical Museum that we had to give her a whole wall, right? This is in the beginning stages when we didn't know how many people will be involved with the art show. And she's one of the first artists to be so motivated and excited to be a part of it. So I'm going to show you her work. Up here, I put this up here because it's the most abstract piece that she brought. Not only that, the emotion that it evokes within you is something that you need to process. So I feel like looking up at it just naturally fit the piece. Next, I have Brianna Taylor's this picture that she painted of Brianna Taylor, which I think is beautiful. I think it depicts her in a nice way. I like that it's a smaller piece. For some reason, it's just that small reminder of what we go through. That's what it made me feel. I put it in between these two bigger pieces so that it would stand out. Next, I call this piece Black Boy Joy. That's what I see. That's what I feel when I'm looking at this piece. I feel Black Boy Joy. He's got the emojis around him. He's got a smile on his face. He's communicating with his friends, you know what I mean? That's what I see. I see he's communicating with people, smiley faces and things of that nature. I put the young man next to the young woman. I love this background. I love the intensity of the background. I can feel the ups and downs of the emotions of the background. I can feel that she has a solemn expression, yet she wants to scream, she wants to yell, she wants to express herself. And all the colors mixed in, for me, it represents that she's trying to figure out how to articulate herself as she processes all of her emotions. That's what I get out of this. And last point I would like to make about this piece is that she's in black and white, but her tears are in color, right? Because I may feel stuck in reality that, you know, everything is black and white, but my emotions are, you know, bright and outwardly expressed. We will move on. Now this, I'm sorry for all the other artists here, but this is my favorite piece. This is my favorite piece. Let me get it on the full screen. This is my favorite piece. Now I love this piece because of how it brings history right into your face. So for me, on the left, you see the emojis and all that. I feel like that's us trying to live a happy life. That's us trying to live in modern day society. That's us trying to be, you know what I mean, on social media and things of that nature. That's what that represents. And then there, that's obviously the Underground Railroad, right? Now, for me, what all this says to me is that no matter if it's modern society or past or the past history of America, in some way, shape, or form, we're all slaves to the money. And Harriet Tubman is looking at you like, you know, don't be a slave to the money. Don't be a slave, period, you know. But this is just my interpretation of this. I really wish and hope his art piece sells. I hope and I wish that I was the one to sell it. But one day somebody will buy this and somebody will use it and have it in their home. This is an amazing art piece. I love it. Moving on, a more mature woman, right? So we've transitioned from the younger woman who was trying to articulate her emotions to this more mature woman who knows how to express herself. Things not as wild in the background. She's still processing life, but she's more mature and her approach is a little bit better. Still a little abstract, still a little all over the place, but more focused, right? That's what I got from this art piece. We move up from this and also the coloration, the yellow and black. We move up to these yellow and black pieces. Now, I love this art piece as well. This is a beautiful depiction of Martin Luther King. This is a beautiful use of the color yellow. I absolutely love it. Now, what I love about this is that as a black person, I feel like you're stuck in between these two different Martins. They either want you to be a joke like Martin Lawrence or be absolutely perfect as a human being like Martin Luther King. And God, that is such a hard thing to be, right? It's so hard to be stuck in between this duality of blackness, right? I'm either a comedian or I'm prolific, right? I'm either an athlete or I'm a martyr, right? I can't just be a regular person. We're gonna go over here because we all know that Martin Luther King was nonviolent, and Malcolm X was by any means necessary. I love them together. I think that whoever buys one has to buy the other. Candace, do not let these two brothers, these twin brothers, or these brothers in art, don't let them be sold separately. In the middle, I did this because of the coloration and what all these men represent. I did this because of their contributions to humanity. I felt that they needed to be in close proximity to each other. Then her last piece that she has, we all know what's been happening in America forever, and we know what's been ramped up lately, right? So we know how things have been going, and that's why that's there. And I'm happy that of all the artists, you know, not all the artists focused on Black Lives Matter, but we had it in here one time, and I'm appreciative of that. So that's two of the artists. There were a lot of us. So that was Candace. Now we're going to go. I might butcher his name. Qyjon, Pierre. He did a Basquiat tribute, and I reached out to him because I liked his tribute to Basquiat. I thought that it was nicely done. Also, the pieces are affordable, if you ask me, right? They're not too crazy, and the size of the pieces are nice, and I like that. I didn't want to have an art show where people came and felt like they couldn't buy something off the wall, right? The goal was for people to be able to buy something off the wall. So that being said, let me show you his artwork. Love the coloration in this. So obviously inspired by Basquiat. Love the brown, the blue, love how it goes together, love the crown, love it. Go over here to this one. A lot of raw emotion in this. Once again, inspired by Basquiat. He just recently had an art battle in Chicago, and I hope you won, right? He was not able to be here on the Meet the Artist night, but I will tag him in it. You'll be able to reach this young man somehow, some way. This is probably my favorite one, you know what I mean? If I had some space and I didn't have all the artwork at my house that's my art, I might purchase this. This is a beautiful use of different colors, right? I love the blues and the blacks with the orange. It just pops to me. I love this. I actually want it to be bigger. I wish this was bigger. And then up here, beautiful, beautiful tribute to Basquiat. Okay, we're gonna move on. So, okay, Candace ran up here to the next artist. Now I'm even gonna try to Galine Conquet. I know I messed that up. But now I actually had several people attempting to buy her art. The price, you know how people are when you start talking about money. When the price comes, people's attitudes change. But here's her artwork. Beautifully done, perfectly done. It's shellacked, it's ready to go, it's shiny, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. She's a very professional artist. We'll move on to this side. It's her sister. Look at that, shiny, beautiful. Now these two are on the outside, welcoming everyone into the art gallery. Yeah, love it. I'm gonna try to get this one sold for her because I think that it definitely needs a home. That being said, we'll move on to the next artist. Rhonda Blaine. Now, Rhonda Blaine, this is personally for me, it was a big deal for me to put Rhonda Blaine right here, right? It was a big deal for me because when I was reached out to put this art show together, there was a question posed to me. The question was, or a question I posed when they reached out to me, because I am an artist, and I said, I know you want 12 black artists. Now, do you want black artists and black art because it was made by black hands, or do you want black art because it's showing you, you know, Emmett Till and images of Egypt, right? And the lady, Tycee Bell, bless her heart, she said, you know what, Qyjon, I don't know. So I took it upon myself to curate it in such a way to where I got art that was created. I got art that was created by black hands, and that's what makes it black art. And I also have art that obviously depicts what the eternal struggle of the black race. So we will now. I love her stuff because this is black art that is considered black art because it was made by black hands. That being said, why must we always make the stereotypical things that depict blackness, right? Right? They expect us to give you Harriet Tubman. They expect us to give you King Pharaoh Tutankhamun, right? They expect those things, right? But we also want beautiful days gazing at the water, right? As black people, we also just want peace, right? And that's what I feel when I look at these, and this is why I appreciate that she contributed to the art show, because this is just peaceful. This is just something you put in your bathroom, something you put in a common area to bring you to an area of peace. So I love that she was able to contribute this, and she didn't feel as if her art wasn't black enough because it doesn't depict anything that we usually associate with being black. So that's her artwork. We're about halfway through the art show now. Rhonda Blaine. Okay, who's next? Okay, another guy I sought out, Master Burt. Love his stuff. Love his stuff. Okay, we're gonna move on. Now, he was not able to make it either, but man, I love his artwork. I think it's amazing. I think it's beautiful. He gave 2 pieces. Now, I loved each piece that he brought to us. I love it because you'll see. I'm gonna show you them. So here, without any further ado, I've done it. Look at this. You know, I love this art piece because it makes you kind of process sensual and feminine energy, right? You have to process it, right? She's not totally nude, but she is without clothes, right? She's not showing anything, but she's showing everything. You know what I mean? Beautiful black woman, natural hair, love the yellow, love the blues. Like, man, I'm surprised that nobody jumped out of their skin to buy this, right? We had a couple inquiries, but you know what I mean? This is something I definitely can see in someone's home who has a nice front area for people to come into, or a man cave or something like that. But I love this art piece. Next, we have this. Now, this is not to depict the war on drugs. It's not to depict mass incarceration. This is meant to depict how confining the healthcare industry is to black people who suffer from sickle cell anemia. This art piece is in dedication, and it's meant to showcase what black people go through who are suffering from sickle cell anemia. Master Burt, we spoke about this art piece. I specifically wanted this art piece in here. I love the way he depicts what he was trying to depict. think it's wonderful, and I really do hope it sells. He does a lot of work with the Sickle Cell. I don't want to butcher the name, but he does a lot of work with an organization that supports people with sickle cell. And this is very important for me to have this in here because, once again, it's a Black history art exhibit, and sickle cell anemia is a part of our history as well. Most people who have sickle cell anemia are Black. Okay. We've got another art piece that I just can't get enough of. Look at this. This sculpture is beautiful. I was happy to curate this event because, as you can see, I put this in the middle. And I put this in the middle because it needed to be in the middle, because it needed to be shown the proper respect. It's a different kind of art that I don't think most of us appreciate, right? Most of us don't appreciate sculpture nowadays, right? We'll appreciate a statue if we see it in front of like a basketball stadium, but we don't really appreciate sculptures made by people that we know, right? It was a Meet the Artist event. She came here, right? And I don't know many sculptors, and I especially don't know many Black sculptors. So I was so happy to have her. She was such a pleasant lady, and she was actually afraid that this would be too Black of an art piece, or it would be too controversial. And that's why I am so proud that I've had this event, because there is no such thing as the art being too Black when the curator is Black. You know what I mean? And the person who put the show on is Black, and there's no such thing. What she was afraid of. She thought this would be too controversial, too Black, ruffle some feathers, you know what I mean? And no feathers were ruffled. Everybody appreciated it. So we're gonna go to the next artist. Okay. Oh, and this is what's her name? I'm gonna mess that up. So Christine LaRue. That's who that is. So we're gonna go from her to her student. Her student brought a piece. This is Donna's sculpture. Now, I know you're looking at this, you're watching this video, and I appreciate that. What I will say is this is one of those art pieces you have to see in person so you can see all the intricate details within the art piece. I'm so appreciative of her responding to the emails, and I'm so appreciative of her because she told me to reach out to Christine LaRue. So they both came, teacher and student, which is a wonderful thing to see. Okay, now we're going to go to another Donna Tapley. Donna Tapley is an art teacher at the Bolingbrook High School. She's a member of the Joliet Art Council, and this is one of the most professional pieces that we have in this exhibit. Beautiful, so well done, and it's already sold. She actually has a person who purchased this already, and they allowed her to show this to us, to have it in our exhibit. And I'm so happy that they allowed her to have it in the exhibit. Once again, I know that this, the phones are nice, but you got to see this in person. You got to feel this one in person. Feel the emotion of it. Feel the coloration of it. Feel the story that it is trying to tell you, right? I won't even attempt to give my interpretation of it. I get the feminine energy. I get the beauty of the Black woman. I get the strength of the Black woman. And I also get that bringing life into the world is very important. But this is something that I wish everybody who could come out came out to see this exact art piece. Next, Larry Crawford. Now, Larry Crawford had a whole setup for you. He had, what did he have? He had a speaker, a speech, and a whole thing. We couldn't fully do that, but we did put his contribution out, and his contribution is so beautiful. You have to see this. Now there's so much history here that I can't stop and look at every single thing. It would take 5-10 days, right? But there's so much history here. And there's one thing that I do want to say. When you are black in America, if you ever take time to look at your history, what you will see is a deep documentation of your hatred. And I think that that's the difference between any other oppressed people in America and black people, right? There's not as much, or it may not exist at all, documentation of other people's hatred, and it's not so well documented, right? Like there's books and books and books and books and books on the inferiority of the black man, the everything, right? It's not the same way. It's not the same thing for everybody else. So anyway, that's Larry Crawford's contribution to the Black History Art exhibit. Next, Antoinette Travis. Another art piece. I'm so surprised it didn't sell. But this is obviously a depiction of Donald Glover from the music video This Is America. And this is his art piece. And within it, he has a lot of the things that black people have been subjected to. We're going to move on with the art exhibits. We're going to move on, right? So next we have my personal, I wanted to do an art show with this guy. I needed to do an art show with this guy, right? His name is Dada Soul, okay? So we're going to go over to his stuff. Now, I'm a collage artist as well. So as a collage artist, I appreciate collages, right? I'll get a good angle. So you see this one? Love it, beautiful. Definitely cannot capture the beauty of his work just through a phone. You must see it in person. But man, it speaks volumes. And what I love about these is that he packs such a powerful punch on such a small canvas, right? He packs so much into such a small area. And for me, he wasn't listening to me, but I'm like, man, those are t-shirts, those are coffee mugs, those are shoes, everything that you can recreate with that art piece. I just love it so much. So Dada Soul, thank you. Appreciate you for being a part of this experience for me, and appreciate you allowing me to show your artwork to the public. Next. All right, another young man who I sought out, who I wanted to be in an art show with, who was super excited and super motivated, just like Candace was, to be a part of this. His name is Michael. This is his art piece. Beautiful. Love to see this depiction of black love. Love the coloration. Love that they're barefoot together. Love that they're sharing an intimate moment. I do think that we need to showcase black love more and more and more. With the way that the world is, we all need love, and especially African American people, especially black people. I love this painting for several reasons, but what I do like is that it's not too blatant, right? It's not too over the top. Like it's doing just enough. It's giving you just enough of what it needs to give you for you to understand what's going on. And I am not a painter, so for me, I admire this type of talent. So Michael Knight, appreciate. We will definitely be doing more art shows together. We will definitely be working together in the future. And yes, keep me in your prayers. All right, we're coming down to the last two artists, okay? Last three artists, I'll say. This one, Alana Thompson. She actually just walked in and she just walked out, so you know what I mean? But she's Weird Girl Next Door on Instagram. This gives me Chance the Rapper vibes. What was his first album? His mixtape, I forgot. Acid Trip, I think it was. But yeah, he gives me Chance the Rapper vibes, Black Boy Joy, positive vibes. I love this. We'll go over here next because I put that and then I put the female kind of version over here. I love this. use of coloration, this use of nature, and the placement of the black woman within the element of nature. Love it. Don't ask me why. Gives me like super clean spa vibes. Gives me like clean bathroom vibes. I don't know. I just picture this being somewhere where you take a shower and relax. We'll go to the top. High vibration, high feminine energy, a big smile, right? I don't know why she doesn't have eyes. You gotta ask the weird girl next door, but we're gonna go here. This is from her collection of what she brought us. This is my favorite. It's my favorite because so often do we forget to use our heart in society, and so often do we forget that the women in our lives have hearts, and that their hearts are oftentimes bigger than ours, which is why they put up with us, whether it be our mothers, our significant others, or our sisters. So I just love that she has the heart, like, and you know, this woman's not looking at you, right? She's not looking directly at you in the face. She's looking to the side, and I just love how she put this heart so big, and it's from a side angle. I just love it. Yeah, I can't get enough of this. You know what I mean? This is one of my favorite pieces in the whole art show, and I hope that somebody buys it. And whoever buys it, you have a masterpiece. You know what I mean? You have something that's noteworthy. That's her handle. She put her handle there. Okay, after her, we have Dora Moore. Dora Moore is right under the piece from earlier. Collage. I put it right above these collages. I want the collage energy to be in the same area. It's mother and daughter is what I'm told. Hence the frames being similar, and they're both being creative people. I love collage. I think that this is very much what people think of when they think of collage. High feminine energy, with the letters cut out and the beauty products and everything like that. Happy to have it as part of the art show. Those are the last two artists. Now I know what you're thinking. You said, oh, Qyjon. If that's the last two artists, you know, what about you? Well, I'm the last one, all right? I'm not inside the program because I didn't really care for having my biography out there or anything like that. But without any further ado, this is my smallest piece I contributed. This is a clock, a functioning clock, and I just have this young man in juxtaposition to Martin Luther King because it begs the question, right? How many Martin Luther Kings did we lock away for no reason, right? Then you go from this moment of turbulence, right? So when you're in the middle of your day and it's really hard, don't forget that you'll be blessed with another day. Right, so put a smile on your face. That's what that represents. Then we come over here. This is just a timetable of America, so you go from 1865 to 1965 to 1985 to 2020, and this is just meant to depict, you know what I mean? When was America great again, right? When was America this super awesome country, right? And I'm not downing America. America is beautiful, but when was it great for everyone, right? And the answer is never. It was never great for everyone. It was great for a very specific sect of people is who it was great for. And that's what this art piece is meant to represent. Now we'll go to me, the grand finale. To me, the epitome of what I'm trying to show, the epitome of what I'm trying to express as an artist. We won't go through everything because it'll take me an hour, but I just want you to see the reflection. In that reflection, which it is a mirror, this is a functioning mirror, behind it, that's George Floyd's face. And the reason I did that is because until you can see yourself in that predicament, you'll never really care. And that was a point that I needed to make, a point that I really needed to get across. I guess I kind of walked away from that too quick. Those are bullets with blood splattered on them. So that is that. That is the Joliet Area Historical Museum Black History Art Exhibit presented to you by Seven Mountains. That is the art show. You got to be at the next one. I appreciate you for your time, and this has been Qyjon the Icon. Thank you.